Fee 308. Study Session 6. The Problem of Prediction. Introduction. One of the aims of the social sciences is to be able to predict large-scale social events and occurrences. Indeed, prediction is a significant dimension of human experience, but there are questions regarding the extent to which the social sciences can predict future happenings and the accuracy of such predictions. In this lecture, we shall examine the philosophical problem of prediction, most especially as it affects the social sciences. Learning outcomes. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to understand the problem of prediction, determine the extent to which the social sciences can be said to predict future social occurrences based on laws governing human social behavior. The problem of prediction. According to the Cambridge International Dictionary of English, to predict is to say that an event or action will happen in the future, especially as a result of knowledge or experience. Some scholars have argued that human action as meaningful behavior is normally marked by at least three characteristics: an awareness of the past, a sense of the rightness and wrongness of action, and a vision of the future. The point here is that the future is never something that is vacuous or empty. Rather, it is a mental space that is filled with expectations, hopes, and fear, and with strategies and policies designed respectively to maximize or minimize them. Rhine, 1970, and Cole, 1973. It is no wonder, therefore, that man is seen essentially as a planning creature, having a more or less articulated vision of the future and some idea of the means to achieve that vision. Webb, 1995, pages 139 to 155. Such visions and predictions about the future are usually based on theories or beliefs about the world, as well as our experience of the regularity of past performance. Most often, however, we predict future social occurrences and act on such predictions, but paradoxically, we do so also in the straw knowledge than often. The future may not be as we foresaw. This raises the philosophical question of whether or not prediction can be said to be the goal of the social sciences. Types of prediction. The distinction has been made between two types of prediction: intentional prediction and outcome prediction. An intentional prediction is a statement about the future that indicates the disposition of an actor to behave in a certain way in the future. Factors to be considered in an intentional prediction are the veracity of the statement, the maintenance of the intention, and the capacity to ensure the prediction. An outcome prediction is a type that obtains in the natural sciences and is far more independent of personal intentions and biases or the disposition of the actor. Philosophical problem of prediction. The philosophical problem of prediction follows as a consequence of the problem of induction and the search for certainty. The natural sciences are believed to have discovered laws of nature that were unalterable in time and space. Hence, the possibility of establishing the likelihood of the future being like the past, as we have the Newtonian assumption that the universe is a determinist order, such that it is in principle possible to predict every state of the universe from a consideration of any other state together with a full knowledge of the causal laws operating at that time. Though the social sciences claim to also predict future social occurrences, there are reasons to doubt import and reliability of such predictions. Such reasons include the fact that humans who are the object of study in the social sciences are sentient beings with passions, emotions, and free will. Also, while prediction is often used in natural science as a way of validating an experiment, the nature of prediction in the social sciences frequently precludes its use as a means of validation. People have to predict and governments have to predict, yet the philosophical basis of such an activity is fraught with problems, some of which have been dealt with by Karl Popper, 1974. In the first instance, prediction in the social sciences have been described as having an Oedipus effect of being self-fulfilling at some time and self-defeating at other times. The argument here is that unlike natural science, prediction in the social sciences will itself become a factor in decisions taken by people who will act to either falsify or fulfill such prediction. For example, if there are some economic indicators that suggest that a recession is on the way and that in all probability one's job may be at risk with the consequence that you may be unemployed, a prediction has been made. This may then lead to, say, emigration and a job somewhere else. In such a case, the prediction that one will be unemployed has been falsified because the prediction itself led to an action that falsified it. Another argument against prediction in social science, also emanating from Karl Popper, relates to the discovery of new knowledge. The argument here is that the progress of the human race is dependent upon new discoveries. So since we cannot anticipate new discoveries, the argument goes, we cannot predict the future of the human society. Another serious difficulty with prediction in social science is that in many of the cases in the social sciences, the initial conditions relevant to such predictions are not usually known, whereas to predict, the initial conditions needed to be known. A problem further associated with prediction in the social sciences concerns the problem of contingency. In history, the past is shaped by contingency or accidental events which cannot be accommodated within any generalized model, with consequence that the future must be seen as being unpredictable. A further factor that inhibits prediction is that in social science, the same kind of event does not always have the same set of causal antecedents, and similar causal sets may not always have the same effects. For example, the transformation to an industrial society in Britain had very different causal antecedents than the industrial transformation in Taiwan or South Korea. The former occurred in a somewhat ad hoc manner, while the latter two cases, the industrial transformation was a planned process. Another factor inhibiting prediction in the social sciences is the very complexity of social explanation itself. The theories used to explain social events are simplifications. No theory is ever able to explain all the facets of the phenomenon to which it refers. In the explanation of past events, we can more easily cope with divergence from theoretical explanations due to the fact that we have knowledge of external interfering factors. With prediction, however, we do not have the advantage of hindsight with respect to the antecedent conditions. There are two theories that further expatiate on the problem of social prediction. They are the catastrophic theory and the chaos theory. The catastrophic theory deals with the mathematics of sudden change. Many social changes are incremental in the sense that change is steady and reasonably predictable. But some social changes are sudden and often unexpected, catching even knowledgeable observers by surprise. For instance, it is possible to know that a particular situation is ripe for a riot and yet not know when, where, or how, or if an instigation will occur. Thus, we may reasonably predict without the ability to be precise. Sometimes, we can, on good theoretical grounds, surmise that there will be change but not be able to specify exactly when that change is going to occur. The chaos theory, on the other hand, argues that in principle, some things are inherently unpredictable. It is not due to the fact that measurements or theories are inadequate. It would not matter how good they are. We will still not be able to predict some things. If we remember that social change or development is a series of movements down a path, a sequence, and that at any moment in that sequence, there is a possibility of bifurcation or division, then we must accept that the direction of the path may change, and this makes prediction difficult, if not impossible. See Kaplan, 1940, pages 492 to 498. In our analysis of the problem of prediction so far, we have found that the ability to predict events with the natural sciences is predicated on the fact that science has reached a high level of development and that its essential facts stand in a systematic relationship to each other. But this is not the case with the social sciences. This raises the question of whether the social sciences can make singular predictions about initial conditions, such as would enable one to draw from our generalizations predictions of positive kinds. Study session summary. In this lecture, we have examined the philosophical problem of prediction and the problems associated with the social sciences' attempt at predicting the future occurrence of social events. We distinguish between two types of prediction and explain that while an intentional prediction is peculiar in the social sciences, an outcome prediction obtains in the natural sciences, as it is far more independent of the personal intentions and biases or the disposition of the actor. We examined also two theories that further expatiate on the problem of social prediction. These are the catastrophic theory and the chaos theory. End of study session 6. Thank you for listening.